Rasboras are the underrated gems of the freshwater aquarium hobby, and the Scissortail Rasbora is an excellent example of that. It is a great fish for community aquariums that is lively and looks great. It is also a hardy fish that isn't difficult to care for. Here is a closer look at this amazing fish. Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we will be taking a look at the Scissortail Rasbora. But before I continue, do me a favor and click that like button. It lets me know that you're enjoying videos like this. Now, without further ado, here's some information about them that will help you keep your own Scissortail Rasbora alive and happy. Origin: the Rasbora trilineata, commonly known as the Scissortail Rasbora, originally comes from the southern part of the Mekong River Basin. They are adaptable fish, and while they primarily inhabit slow-moving water bodies and swamps, they have also been found in parts of the river with fast-flowing water. Even though the hobby initially bore witness to wild-caught specimens of these fishes, most of the ones available these days are captive-bred, which makes them quite well-suited to a life in the home aquarium. Appearance and physical description: the Scissortail Rasbora has a translucent body that has a silverish sheen to it. Depending on the lighting, it can give off subtle shimmers of different colors. A thin horizontal line starts from its gills and runs all the way to its tail. Its tail is its salient feature and what gives it its name. It is forked and has 3 bands of yellow, black, and white, which is why it's also known as a 3-lined Rasbora. It also does this cool thing with its tail where it can open and close like a scissor, and hence the name. It has a slender, torpedo-shaped body that is indicative of its high level of activity. It can grow to a maximum size of 8 centimeters or 3.5 inches. Males tend to be slightly smaller and slenderer than females. Scissortail Rasbora tank setup. This fish is not particularly picky when it comes to the tank setup. There are, however, a few things that need to be kept in mind to provide them with a hospitable environment. Start off with a tank that is at least 20 gallons in size. Also, provide them with plenty of open spaces. These fish are very active and fast swimmers and need an encumbered space to keep up their high activity level. Additionally, if you can add plants like Java moss along with driftwood and pebbles to make the aquarium look like a riverbed, these fish will be the happiest. However, this is not a necessity, and these Rasboras are very accommodating of different decor ideas, as long as they can swim about freely. Provide subdued lighting to further make them feel at home while also bringing out their subtle beauty. Care and lifespan. Since these fish are naturally accustomed to life in a river, they like clean and well-aerated water. Make sure to use a high-quality filter along with a power head to introduce a reasonably strong water current. Maintain the water temperature between 73 degrees Fahrenheit and 78 degrees Fahrenheit, or 23 degrees Celsius and 25 degrees Celsius. These fish prefer slightly acidic water. A pH of between 6.6 and 7.0 is a good range to aim for. A hardness of between 2 and 12 DGH brings out the best in them. These fish love stability, hence ensure that the water parameters go through minimal fluctuations. Also, be very regular with your maintenance schedule. Do a partial water change once every 2 to 3 weeks and regularly monitor the various water parameters to make sure nothing is amiss. With proper care, Scissortail Rasboras can live for between 5 and 7 years. Scissortail Rasbora Tankmates. These Rasboras, like most Rasboras, are highly social fish. They love and need the company of their own kind to thrive and feel secure. Keep them in a group of at least 6. Additionally, they are quite peaceful and will do well in a community tank with other fishes that have a similarly calm and docile demeanor. Great candidates for tank mates for the Scissortail Rasbora include other peaceful Rasboras, peaceful tetras, danios, angelfish, discus, goramus, Corydorus catfish, Autocinculus, and live bears that have been acclimated to a slightly acidic environment. Avoid aggressive fishes and fin nippers, and you will have a truly harmonious community of happy fish. Scissortail Rasbora diet. It should come as no surprise that these fish are not at all fussy when it comes to their diet. Their wild cousins subsist mostly on a diet of insects, and the captive-bred specimens found in the hobby tend to share a fondness for live food. However, they will also readily accept other forms of fish food, such as flakes and pellets. A protein-rich diet supplemented with the occasional live food is the best approach if you are looking to get the best of these fish in terms of activity, appearance, and lifespan. Scissortail Rasbora breeding. One of the reasons behind the popularity and easy availability of these fishes is the ease with which they can be bred. While they are more challenging than live bears such as guppies, breeding them is still well within the scope of a beginner hobbyist. To achieve the best results, use a separate breeding tank. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just make sure to add a mesh or spawning mat to collect the eggs. Feed them with plenty of live food, and this should encourage them to form pails with the females, eventually becoming gravid. At this point, transfer the breeding pairs to the breeding tank. Ensure that the water is slightly warmer at between 77 degrees Fahrenheit and 82 degrees Fahrenheit, or 25 degrees Celsius and 28 degrees Celsius. To get them to spawn, add small volumes of cold water that is slightly softer multiple times throughout the day. This simulates rain, and the females will lay their eggs, which the males will fertilize. Once all the eggs have been laid, remove the adults. Keep the breeding tank very clean with minimal lighting. The eggs are particularly susceptible to fungal infections. The eggs will hatch in just about 24 hours. They will survive on their egg sac for the next 2 days, after which you will need to provide them with freshly hatched brine shrimp or commercially available fry food. To sum it up, while the Scissortail Rasbora may not be as popular as some of the other community fish tank-friendly fishes, it is certainly a worthy fish for hobbyists of all levels of experience. They can make any aquarium come to life, and their playful nature makes them a treat to watch. Just make sure to provide them with the care they need, which is frankly not a lot, and you will have years of fish-keeping nirvana.